The Beneficial Effects of Gardening on Mental Health and Wellness, presented by Michelle Thomas and Katie Newber. The World Health Organization defines mental health as a state of mental well-being that enables people to cope with the stresses of life, realize their abilities, learn and work well, and contribute to their community. Mental health has intrinsic and instrumental value and is integral to our well-being. Mental health conditions include mental disorders, psychosocial disabilities, and mental states that can be associated with significant distress, impairment in functioning, or risk of self-harm. People with mental health conditions are more likely to experience lower levels of mental well-being. There are more than 200 types of mental health disorders: depressive disorders, anxiety disorders, bipolar disorder, schizophrenia, and post-traumatic stress disorder, or PTSD, are some of the more prevalent and commonly known mental health disorders. 1 in 5 Americans suffers from a mental health condition, and almost half of Americans will experience an episode of mental health disorder in their lifetime. In 2024, an estimated 57.8 million adults had a mental health condition, but only 43% received any kind of mental health care. 42.5 million Americans suffer from an anxiety disorder in their lifetime. About 1 in 10 American adults will suffer from a depressive disorder in a given year. And suicide is the 10th leading cause of death in the United States, with more than 40 million Americans dying annually from it. As a result of the COVID-19 pandemic, individuals reported an almost quadruple incidence of anxiety or depressive disorder symptoms. In addition to these increases, the World Health Organization has classified mental health disorders as a substantial contributor to the global disease burden. This issue is greatly exacerbated by severely limited access to funding and care and a chronic shortage of qualified mental health professionals. So, could gardening possibly help with promoting mental health and wellness? Yes. Gardening has been proven to contribute significant benefits to mental health, overall wellness, and life satisfaction. As a matter of fact, gardening can provide advantages in each dimension of the wellness wheel. For the purpose of this presentation, we're going to focus on the emotional, intellectual, physical, and social aspects of the wellness wheel. Gardening has beneficial effects on emotional well-being and has been found to improve mood, boost self-esteem, and increase hope, happiness, and positive outlook on life. Gardening also has been proven to result in a reduction in symptoms of depression, stress, and anxiety. Interestingly enough, scientists have found that just touching and digging in soil stirs up microbes that elevates our mood by stimulating production of serotonin. And if that isn't enough, just the act of being outside in green spaces or even viewing them contributes to these already recognized positive effects. This is so well documented and researched that many hospitals are beginning to incorporate mindful green spaces and gardens into their designs. A study conducted on post-operative wards found that patients who viewed plants or trees exhibited improved mood and reduced analgesic use, surgical complications, and length of stay. What a testament to the power of green. As a matter of fact, few complementary therapies have been shown to be as effective as gardening and being in nature, designating this as an inexpensive and universally available alternative form of therapy to improve mental health. Alongside effects on emotional well-being, gardening has some beneficial effects on our intellect. Caring for plants has been found to improve focus and concentration, increase attention span, enhance memory retention, and increase creativity and productivity. These findings greatly explain why studies have shown how gardening can mitigate both symptoms of ADHD and dementia. Gardening also establishes a sense of accomplishment and can both improve mindfulness and encourage a growth mindset. In gardening, there will always be factors that are out of our control, such as the weather or how a particular plant will ultimately perform or grow. This encourages us to remain on a never-ending path of learning from our mistakes and turning failures into teaching opportunities. As for physical well-being, gardening is a wonderful way to get exercise. Gardening tasks work all of the major muscle groups through functional movements such as bending, crouching, lifting, reaching, pushing, pulling, and contorting. Just think about how the following activities could result in a full body workout without even noticing it: watering crops, weeding, trimming shrubs, planting seeds and transplanting seedlings, digging and tilling, raking, reaching overhead to pick or prune fruit or vegetable crops, lifting bags of mulch, pushing a lawnmower, and pushing a wheelbarrow. Gardening improves balance, strength, and flexibility. It also lowers cortisol levels, which reduces stress, triggers the release of feel-good endorphins, and boosts the immune system. Gardeners who grow their own fruits and vegetables are more likely to include these foods as a part of a healthy, well-balanced diet. Last but not least, gardening contributes to overall wellness by helping to foster social connections. Shared gardening experiences helps build relationships, promotes intergenerational bonding, and strengthens community ties, thus contributing to improved social well-being. Whether it's participating in a school gardening program, tending to a community garden plot, or simply sharing homegrown produce with neighbors, the act of gardening creates opportunities for interaction and collaboration. Gardeners can exchange their expertise of gardening practices and shared experiences, which fosters an environment of continual learning and enhances the gardening experience for all involved. Community gardening can also provide a safe and inclusive space that promotes a sense of belonging and reduces feelings of isolation. So now that you know some of the beneficial effects that gardening has on mental health and wellness, what are you waiting for? Let's take a brief look at the emerging field of horticultural therapy and how we can apply its modalities to our lives in super practical ways. Therapeutic horticulture is defined as a professionally facilitated treatment intervention that uses plant and nature-based activities to work towards the psychological, physical, cognitive, social, spiritual, and vocational goals of its participants. In the United States, horticultural therapy was born out of the increased need for occupational therapy after World War II. In 1973, the American Horticultural Therapy Association was established and accredits trained professionals as horticultural therapists who oversee programs that encourage direct engagement with plant cultivation and horticultural activities for the express purpose of assisting participants in working towards individual or group wellness goals. Programs may be therapeutic, social wellness, and/or vocational in nature. Here are some horticultural therapy sample treatment goals. Various versions of therapeutic horticulture can also be found around the world. This isn't surprising because the value of nature and plants has been a major touchstone globally in cultural traditions, religious rituals, and folk medicine for generations. While therapeutic horticulture practitioners can be great resources, there are many ways to take advantage of the stress relief and mood-boosting benefits of gardening. Anyone who has spent time in a garden can tell you that a growing space is a place that relaxes and invigorates. It can be a place of stillness while yet bursting with life. As a place of constant change, a garden demands a grower's attention to the present moment. Focusing on the present is the primary principle behind mindfulness-based stress reduction practices. This technique has shown to improve psychological health and reduce instances of burnout for professionals in demanding fields such as healthcare. Here's a simple mindfulness activity that you can do in your garden or any time that you want to connect to the present moment, relieve stress, or boost your mood. Find a comfortable place to sit, lay, or stand for the next minute. Check to make sure your posture is supportive and you release any tense muscles. Take a slow breath in and slowly exhale. As you look around your garden, what is one thing that you can see? What do you hear? Are the creatures that you hear beneficial to your garden or pests? What do you feel? What do you smell? Is there anything delicious in your garden that you can taste right now? Is there anything in particular abundance that you can share with family, a friend, or a neighbor? Return back to the spot in this exercise throughout the growing season to see what changes and what stays the same. We hope that you are now ready to go grow and heal. Thanks for watching.